Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the greatest time of the day. From the center of the universe, New York City, it's the main event you've been waiting for. It's time to go in the cage with CYCLONE!
And your Messiah has come home on this miserable, foggy, yucky, rainy Monday, June 10th, 2019. 19, geez. Time flies. Okay, so right off the bat, I do want to say this. Susan Walker, you asked me a question recently that I have been knocking myself across my head trying to get the answer to. But if I'm not able to get the answer this week, I promise within 2 weeks, Susan, you will have your answer. I could make something up right now if I wanted to, but I don't lie. I do not lie. I always tells the truth. So, when I get the answer, within 2 weeks, I promise you, Susan, your question will be answered. It's like the longest waiting question in the history of mankind. Okay, so I've been on the edge of my seat recently. I've hinted this for a while. No, Susan, I really don't lie, okay? Anyways, so I have some news. I have a huge, in my Donald Trump voice, announcement. Jen, can you please put up the graphic? Folks, guess what? You can now catch me on all those platforms. Holy smokes! I'm moving up in the world. I don't know how, I don't know why, but 8 more venues you can catch the show. Spotify, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Stitcher, all that. Look at that. Obviously, you know, the CYCLONE variety show is on Brick TV. You know, everything's on YouTube, everything's on Facebook, everything's on my website. I'm going to start doing a little bitty video clips on Twitter now too. I mean, you know, I'm catching on in my old age. And you know what? I got even more news for all of you. I'm not stopping. No. I'm actually in early negotiations with a couple of, I don't want to jinx myself in saying it, but some decent fight streaming sites to air this show too. It's not stopping. By hook or by crook, I'm going to come into every single household on the planet. There, I said what I have to said. So, guys, now that the psyche prods whole entire outfit is exploding. What I did was I sat down with a friend of mine and we worked out the numbers. We rearranged some things. So, what I did was I lowered, yes, I lowered the price for sponsorship packages. So, all you have to do is hit me up on either CycloneComedy.com or on Psyche Prods on Facebook. If you know a business or if you got a business, now the numbers are going up and the prices are going down. You don't see that anywhere, but you see it here. Okay? So hit me up for sponsorship rates and let's get something going. Let's put your face next to mine as we take over the planet. So there. That's all my opening news. Please explain what, Brian? Explain what? What should I explain to you, Brian? You tell me and I'll explain it. But in the meantime, let's start with some sweet science. Let's do boxing because you know what? In actuality, in the boxing talk, in the wrestling talk, and in the MMA talk, there's going to be something throughout the whole entire show, segue through, and that's fighters that are too damn old to keep doing what they used to do, but their body can't do what they used to do. It's just impossible. Only one thing is undefeated, and that's time. Time takes everyone out, like Rocky Balboa said. And it's true. Nobody can go on forever. Okay. So let's start with what happened up at the Turning Stone, up near Canastota, Long Island's own, the Hebrew Hammer, Cletus Selden, who I hope one day soon is sitting right here. Because I got things to talk to him about. It's not boxing related. But Cletus took on fellow Brooklynite, Zab Judah. And look, Zab is... Am I going to call Zab Judah an all-time great? No. But he is a fan favorite. Zab Judah always was, will be a highlight in boxing. It was someone you could enjoy watching. He's 41. And in boxing years, 41 equals 136 in human years. It's not good. And he actually thought he was going to make another legit title run. And the two of them were fighting for the NABA super lightweight title. And look, Cletus has been in there with killers, and I mean, he's not top level either, but he tore Zab up. He tore Zab up really, really bad. He got walked down. Cletus has ripped the body on Judah like he's never ripped the body before. Cletus tore him up bad. Tore him up so bad that the ref, seventh round, 11th round. I don't know why I'm maybe thinking 7-11 because I'm hungry. But in the 11th round, it was a foregone conclusion. Cletus won every single round, I think, except maybe the second round. Zeb was getting busted up inside. And ref jumps in, waves the fight off. Zeb argues for a split second, and he leaves the ring. That's an unclassy move, but I'll cut him some slack on it. Afterwards, falls faint, slides into a coma. At least that's what the word came down, that he was in a coma. And here's the thing. If over your career you've taken that many shots, you're that old, is it really worth it to continue? And he thought he was going to step in there with guys in their 20s and their 30s and no. No. I don't know where Cletus found his fountain of youth from. He looked better against Zeb, and maybe it's because it was a 41-year-old Zeb Judy was fighting, but he looked better against Zeb than he did against just about anybody. And like I said, maybe, hopefully, fingers, eyes, and everything else on your body crossed, get Cletus right here to discuss not only boxing but stuff outside of boxing. Because if you don't know, Cletus Selden collects Funko Pops. He has a great YouTube page where he loves comic books, comic book heroes. He collects statues up the yin yang. And that's something I actually do as well, so we could discuss that. Hopefully. But yeah, I think it's time, Zab. Gloves off. Get healthy. Be able to talk to your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids. There's no reason, none whatsoever, the age of 41, you still throwing hands. You've accomplished everything, Zab. And that leads me to what happened at the Garden this past weekend. Look, what happened the week before with AJ and Ruiz, I'm not rehashing. Yes, every once in a while, Cinderella comes through. There was no way on God's green earth Steve Rolls was ever going to be Triple G. And yes, Triple G is 37. He was away for 9 months. He's now training under Jonathan Banks, who was with Vladimir Klitschko. No way. No way. And yes, you can only beat the people that are in front of you. Those are the only guys you can beat. That goes for any sport. Steve Rolls, yes, 19-0, but those 19 fighters are nothing to write home about. As I do some networking and reshuffling for a second. I don't know how athletic commissions put in guys like that. And look, it was the same discussion way back with should Conor McGregor ever be in a ring or cage or anything with Floyd Mayweather. 49-0 versus 0-0. There is a limit of common sense where commissions have to come in and say, mandatory or not, you're not fighting this guy who doesn't belong in a ring with you. Cinderella stories be damned. It shouldn't happen. Absolutely should not ever happen. Obviously, Triple G wins. He won by 4th round knockout. Water is wet and grass is green. More shocking news. But he called out Triple G. He wants that. He called out Canelo. He wants that trilogy. De La Hoya and Canelo says, Look, as long as there isn't a Mexican referee, 1 or 2 Mexican judges, not in Vegas, do it somewhere else. And don't do it on a Mexican holiday. Don't stack the cards that much against Triple G, because we all know boxing can be persuaded by mucho dinero as opposed to Bobby De Niro. So here's the thing. If Canelo Triple G trilogy, which is the fight that we all want to see, despite the first 2 going to Canelo, and we all know that wasn't the case in reality, I think Triple G actually can finish him as long as the cards aren't so stacked against him. So yeah, that's a quick little boxing update. Now look, guys, now that you guys know all the good news, I desperately now need you guys to click share. Come on. You gotta do me that favor and just click share. It's really simple. One finger, I don't care which finger you use, and put it down and share the show. Please. Check out Effective Aggression. Despite this weather, it's going to be getting warmer, and you're going to need t-shirts. Effective Aggression has some great ones. Check out CYCLONEComedy.com for all my good news, because that's always going to be the first spot that it's at. And check out Psyche Prods on Facebook, because all the info is going to be there too. 2 great spots for all the info. You got to check them out. Now, we got a lot of MMA to discuss. We got a raffle coming up later. But when we come back, what we're going to discuss is some wrestling. We got to do some wrestling talk this week. More issues pissing me off in the world of wrestling. Vince is making my blood pressure go up to here again. Anyways, guys, we'll be back right after this with some wrestling talk.
This is Frank Edgar. This is the Barbarian Tim Bosch.
I'm World Series of Fighting undefeated lightweight champion Justin Gaethje.
MMA legend, UFC Hall of Famer, Iceman. Check it out. If you got the guts, step in the cage with CYCLONE.
Frozen tundra, vitamin water. And frankly, I wish I was up in the frozen tundra right now. Fat guys like colder weather, what can I say? Anyways, there's been a long time discussion. How many belts is too much? How many belts is the right amount? Boxing, despite belts for 10-pound splits in divisions, there's too many belts in boxing. There just is. Every organization has a belt, and it's separated by 10 pounds, and it's just too much. Then you got gold, you have the green belt, you have the chrome belt. Everyone and their dead grandmother has belts in boxing. I don't know why, and maybe somebody can explain it to me, but I don't understand why Vince McMahon all of a sudden now wants and now instituted, not now, a couple of weeks ago, I get it, a 24/7 belt. Really? Now look, you want to put a strap around R-Truth's waist? I got no issues with that. R-Truth is a fine athlete. R-Truth, not me personally, but he has people invested in his story. Why another belt? A 24/7 belt makes no sense. I don't know. I mean, here's the deal. In wrestling, especially with Vince, it's not like a belt gets you better bookings, gets you more money. I mean, yeah, maybe the tags and the heavyweight, it works like that. I highly doubt. I highly doubt R-Truth or anyone else for the split second or two that they hold. Yes, I know it's a gimmick, Rudy, but it's not working. It doesn't get anybody invested, and when you're not invested, it's garbage, as the French would say. Yes, I know he wants more views, but I want more views. Okay, am I gonna have a belt made for myself? The Strong Island Television belt. Actually, you know what? Now that I just put those words out of my mouth, that'd be pretty good because, I might take that belt and crack people upside the head with it. I'm kidding. I would never do that. Never in a million years would I do that. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. I got enough carrying all this stuff. I don't need to carry a belt. No, stop with the Instagram stuff. I'll give you a belt. Rudy, I'll give you a belt upside the head. Okay? Anyway, but I just don't get it. It doesn't make me invested. And something else that doesn't get me invested, speaking of the freaking WWE, going to Saudi Arabia. Can we stop going to Saudi Arabia? Now look, this is not a rant against Muslims. It absolutely isn't. I want to say that right at the top. Okay? This is not some Muslimophobic rant. But in Saudi, they have some rules that the rest of the planet kind of thinks is not common sense. Okay? Let's see. Being homosexual is still a crime. Women can still be beaten to death just for looking at you. I don't know what else. Until Saudi Arabia not conforms, because you know what? wrestling fans in Saudi Arabia deserve the product. Yes, but the country doesn't deserve the money. If they want to go on a USO tour, no problem with that. As a matter of fact, I enjoy that and I welcome that. But you can't keep going there. In the Middle East, there's one democracy, and it's Israel. Abu Dhabi, where the UFC is now going to go for the next 5 years. Abu Dhabi has some archaic rules as well, but they're at least a little bit more democratic. And look, like I said, this is not against Muslims. It's just, you can't go to places like that. Okay? You just can't. It doesn't make sense. Okay? And it could be a bargaining chip. Not that other countries really give two rats' asses about the WWE, UFC, or any other group of letters. But you never know. Anyways, that being said, they did go. And I gotta say, I don't like cursing on the show, but holy crap. What a miserable card. I think Triple H is still walking to the freaking ring. Walking so goddamn slow. Jeez. Kidding around aside, being serious. It was an okay, mediocre match against Randy Orton. I like Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. I like what those two bring out in each other. For the life of me, and here's the thing about wrestling. Wrestling is where you have to suspend animation like a soap opera. Nowhere can I suspend animation where Shane O'Mac can ever come close to beating someone like Roman Reigns. Now, if Shane McMahon wants to go to the training facility for 2 years, for 3 years, lock himself up, and become a true professional athlete, God bless. But Shane beating Roman Reigns? Come on. Come on. That makes no freaking sense. I can never believe someone like that. Now, yes, I get it. Andy Ruiz knocked out Anthony Joshua. Okay. David beat Goliath. Cain killed Abel. Some things happen. I can believe some things. Shane O'Mac against Roman Reigns is not one of them. And as far as the main event is concerned, geez, this is now twice Goldberg, who was a prime athlete, who was one of the best to walk on this planet. Him and Taker? Really? This is another Zab Judah situation. These two goofed up on spots. They could have freaking killed each other for real. And then what? Vince didn't go through enough issues with Owen dying in the ring? You want to have a wrestler accidentally kill another guy in the ring next? Really? Makes no sense whatsoever. And frankly, for Bill Goldberg, this is now the second time he's done something like this. The first being WrestleMania 20, when him and Brock were both gone before they stepped into the ring, and everyone in Madison Square Garden booed them out of the garden. Same thing. Same goddamn thing with Goldberg. And stop rolling out The Undertaker or any of his other names that he's had. Okay? Let the old guys retire. Let them go. And quite frankly, I want to say this to the UFC, the WWE, boxing, and the independents across combat sports. If you cannot have proper turnover where the young take out the old and the old get to go away graciously, grateful, go away graciously, guess what? You don't deserve to own a company. There is no way you should own a company if you can't have proper turnover. Young takes out the old. It's just the way it is. It's the way in the animal kingdom, and it's the way it is in the real world too. You want to put old guys in a wheelbarrow and keep wheeling them out? Take the keys to the company, drop them on the floor, and walk away. You don't need to promote, you don't need to own a company. There. Now, the only older guy coming back that I didn't mind watching was Sandman. And I'm not saying it because, there's a friend of mine may or may not have stooped his daughter. But here's the thing about Sandman. All Sandman did was give Eddie Edwards a kendo stick. Something like that, I don't mind. I don't mind Bret Hart being rolled out by EEW to unveil their championship belt. Those quick little snippets, I don't mind. It's good to bring the guys back for glory, for like that. But they don't need to be in storylines, let alone the goddamn main event anywhere. So there. Now, I want you guys, I asked you before, I'm going to ask you again. Click share. Pretty please. Make me smile. If you click share, I smile. Don't you want to see this mug smile and stop being grumpy all the time? I mean, I would think you do. So just hit share. Check out Effective Aggression. You will not regret it. I promise you. I promise you, you will find something you will want to buy. Check out CycloneComedy.com. Now, when we come back, it's all MMA for the rest of the day. Which rhymes, but even though it's nighttime. But, that being said, when we come back, it's all MMA right after this.
Hi, I'm Jim Miller.
This is Dan Merigliotta.
I'm Derek Brunson.
I'm Nick the Carney Lentz, and you're locked into the cage with Cyclone.
I needed another sip. Can't help myself. I can't help myself. Okay, that's the end of my singing. You know what, Lisa? Get your cousins to watch and click share. How about that? Anyways, as far as MMA is concerned, I want to start up at last Thursday, I put PFL Week 3, or as they call it, PFL 14, 15, whatever number it was. Because, first of all, that's one thing I don't like about the PFL, is that they continue, just do Season 1, bunch of numbers, Season 2, bunch of numbers. That makes much more sense. Anyways, I covered PFL Week 3 this year. 2 weeks ago, last week. Here's the thing about it. I did not do the media scrums after the fights, and I can't give you a good excuse why I didn't. I don't know. I just sat there. Just sat in my seat like a large buttocks. And that's what I did. I stayed in. But I did do the post-fight card presser. And here's what I'm going to do really fast. I'm not going to play the interviews, the clips that I have here on this show. What I'm going to do is I have some editing work I have to do on it. And what I will do is I will put it up on my YouTube page, and then I will put it up on Psyche Prods so you can watch it there if you so choose to. All I did was I talked to Victor Nemkov after his win, and at the post-fight presser, I talked to Satoshi Ishii, and it wasn't that long that I did anything, so it'll be really quick. I will say this. I am incredibly, incredibly disappointed in Vinny Magalhaes. I thought Vinny, after last year, him beating Sean O'Connell and then Sean O'Connell coming back, winning the light heavyweight championship last year, I thought Vinny was going to come out guns blazing. I thought Vinny was going to be hyped. Vinny came out against Emiliano Sordi and got jabbed in the face. And just like against Sean O'Connell, once he gets popped, he turtles up. And I don't know why. I can't figure it out. Vinny is physically a rock. He is jacked. He should be able to take a shot and he just can't. And I am so disappointed in him. And I'm disappointed also in former UFC fighter, another one, Jared Rosholt, who got knocked down the first round. Expected big things from both of those guys. I was really impressed with Kevin Tiller. Beating Mohamed Daris. And the fact of the matter is, everybody knows Kevin Tiller can throw hands. Now that Kevin Tiller is on the mat, grinding things out, using submissions, now Kevin Tiller is going to be incredibly dangerous for everyone in the heavyweight division, because now he's a complete fighter. I guess I'm going to have to do Henry Cejudo. What can I say? Is Henry Cejudo one of the best combat athletes out there? Yes. Yes, he is. Is he the greatest combat sports athlete in the history of combat sports? No. Now look, I wish I had Henry's confidence in himself. Because quite frankly, I have no confidence. But when you're outlandishly confident, there's an issue. There is an issue that someone needs to crack you in your head, son. I just don't get it. I think he has what's called a Napoleon complex. And look, I'm happy he's a champ now. He's the 5th one in the UFC. Congrats. Congrats to Henry freaking Cejudo. But look, here's the deal, folks. Every single one of you, all you hardcores watching right now, you all used to say, as far as Conor McGregor is concerned, defend or vacate. Well, guess what? If he wants to run around fighting 135ers, that means he's not defending the 125. Henry, defend or vacate. And the fact that Dana says, oh, he can be the one guy to go back and forth. No, he can't. Absolutely no way in hell is Henry going to bounce around. He calls out, those 3 call-outs, really? Dominic Cruz, who's injured and he's going to be out for another 8 months. Uriah Faber is like Zab Judah, like Undertaker, like Goldberg, old. And Cody Garbrandt, who's been knocked out his last, 2 or 3 fights? That's who you're calling out? How about calling out Joseph Benavidez at 125, who you lost to, who, if you're a true competitor, Henry Cejudo, that's the perfect matchup for him. Get that loss off his record. Rematch Cejudo. Let's face facts. The writing's on the wall. Forget what Dana says. Don't listen to the words out of his mouth. Watch his actions. If you go on the rankings page on the UFC website, there are 12 featherweights left. Rest of the division's gone. You lose, you're gone. It makes no sense. Either close shop on the division, and I don't want to hear this bull crap that it's going to be kept around like the female featherweight division. When we need it, we'll roll it out. It makes no sense. If it's going to be like that, that division doesn't need a championship belt. I am not going to discuss that, Mr. Newman, Mr. coming in here in 20 minutes. You can discuss that on your program. You know what? Justin Bieber might have a better chance against Penelope Cruz than Tom freaking Cruz. How about that? Justin Bieber. I can beat Justin Bieber and I'm a mess. The only reason why, just to let all of you know, that there's any talk of a Cowboy Tony Ferguson rematch, which, don't get me wrong, I want to see, and I want it at 5 rounds. That is a main event. It needs to main event. Okay. Cowboy starts slow, as we saw once again, and he finishes strong. So it would be nice to see if in 5 rounds, can he match Tony Ferguson's cardio? But honestly, what it's doing is it's setting up to let Conor McGregor decide if he wants to come back and have a go at either rematching Poirier or rematching Khabib. Which means one thing. Tony Ferguson gets the old Bret Hart Montreal screw job. Which is a shame because honestly, as much as I want to see a 5-round fight between Tony Ferguson and Cowboy, I want to see him go 5 against Khabib finally. I got to see, before I die, before I leave this planet, I want Khabib and Tony 5 rounds to go at it. And I don't care where the hell the match is. They can fight in my backyard for all I care. Actually, I would kind of like them in my backyard, but I don't have a cage back there. We see that, and I'm going to, like I said, continue this old man thread throughout the show. Dana said he will never allow BJ Penn another fight. I call bull poop on that. Because here's the deal. BJ Penn will go to Dana, beg, plead, tell him he wants to take on somebody, and Dana's going to allow it. It's going to happen. BJ Penn is not retired yet again. So that means he's going to fight again. Okay. And like I said about turnover, for them to allow Uriah Faber, and I get it, Uriah Faber isn't a cripple, but Uriah Faber coming back, really? I don't understand it. Now look, what one championship did was they put Sage Northcutt up against the 8-ball. They stacked the deck against him against a killer. And for Dana, who always says, I'm not one to tell a fighter when to retire, he called for Sage to retire. Really? Worry about your own barn, not someone else's barn. Okay? That's the best way to live life. You stay in your lane, you worry about your own. You don't worry about here, you don't worry about here. Makes no sense to do otherwise. So, I do think that there is a fighter that needs to walk away, and that's Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Her and her husband, boyfriend, I'm not sure what he is, want to start a family. She just doesn't have the killer instincts anymore. She keeps getting run through, and it's not going to end pretty. She might have one more fight left in her. But I don't see her sticking around more than that. And I don't think the UFC should allow her to stick around for much more than that one more fight. But c'est la vie. That is the MMA stuff. Now, what we're going to do is take a quick break. And when we come back, got a game to play and some other stuff. When we come back right after this.
I'm Dennis Bermudez. Hi, I'm Creepy Ian McCall.
Yo, I'm Kelvin Gastelum.
This is Mark Goldberg.
Yo, I'm the world's most dangerous man, Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock, and you're getting tapped out in the cage with Cyclone.
Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary.
Oops, sorry, I had to dance. Anyways, on this day in MMA history, 3 things happen, and all 3 are birthdays. Today, Jack Hermanson turns 31. Jack the Joker Hermanson, ooh, dangerous man, dangerous fighter, dangerous stand-up, killer in the making at 185. Frank Lester turns 35. And big ticket, Wall Harris is 36. And that's what happened on this day in MMA history. Now, we quickly move to everyone's favorite part of the show. Let's give away a prize during a raffle. Okie dokie smokies, we got 4 questions this week. And Susan, none from you. Why? Why, Susan? Okay, question number 1 comes from Kenny Hodgkins. If Demetrius Andrade wins his next fight, do you think it's possible he fights Canelo or Triple G in the fall? Nah. No chance in hell. No chance. No chance in hell. No, I like Jamal Charlo, maybe. I actually like that. Jamal Charlo and Andrade. That would be a nice little mixture. But like I said before, I need Triple G and Canelo to square off one more time before they go their separate ways. It has to happen that way. Now, if after that the 2 winners want to square off and 2 losers square off, then fine. Or maybe, I don't know, who else? Sergey Derevchenko, maybe him against Andrade, but I really do like the Charlo fight. Question number 2 comes from Rudy Asher. What are your thoughts on Goldberg almost killing himself and The Undertaker for Saudi money? Like I said, Rudy, I hate it. It makes no sense. They shouldn't be fighting. If they need money, they could ride the indie circuit. They could ride the con circuit. They don't need to be doing this anymore. Neither one of them. Question number 3 comes from the red-hot Bernard Joseph Green. Who do you think Ferguson gets next? Justin Gaethje? Because honestly, I think Conor's going to get the Poirier-Khabib winner. I really do. And that leaves Justin Gaethje, so Tony Gaethje. Because Cowboy's going to be out for a long, long time. Excuse-moi. Question number 4 comes from William Hoyle. William, question is, what's the future of flyweight with Cejudo being champ? Like I said, that division is dead. It's stuck in the mud. It's a dead division. Okay. I don't see them going out and signing more flyweights. Excusez-moi, as the French would say. Not that I'm French, but I do like French fries and French toast. All right, let's see who the winner is. Now that I'm done mumbling, the winner is numero 3. Wow, Bernard Joseph Green, red hot. 2 prizes in a row, sir. Wow. Congratulations. So guys, listen. Next week, okay, we're going to be talking Bellator. We're going to be talking the return of Tyson Fury. The Gypsy King makes his return. Maybe a guest. I don't know. Maybe a guest the week after. I don't know. Hopefully. I don't know. But I want you guys to keep following and keep it right here because in just a little while, just a couple minutes away, it is The Newman Show. And as I say every week, just because you guys are not athletes doesn't mean any of you cannot be an athletic supporter. Arrivederci!